Chinese New Year is round the corner and I've got the perfect recipe just for you. And this year, it's the year of the tiger, a year of willpower, courage and confidence. And the confidence definitely comes from this week's sponsors of the video, Château Tanunda. Thank you, Château Tanunda, for sponsoring our video with your Grand Barossa Shiraz. In fact, the wine itself is a special edition Year of the Tiger Magnum of the wine. And I'm going to use it to cook and taste along with my oxtail stew. It's a great Chinese oxtail stew, slow braised with all the right bases of 5 spice and bay leaves along with the wine. I can't wait to show you. Right, we're going to go straight on to the oxtail. And this oxtail is lovely because it's got the right amount of fat that we don't have to sort of use any fat or oil to get this going. I do want to seal the oxtail. Some people might find oxtail a little tedious to cook or maybe a little bit daunting, but all it is a bit of meat on some bone. And the bone creates all the flavor. So what we're doing here is we're rendering that fat, and sort of you'll see the excess fat or drippings come up into the pan, and then that's where you'll get that nice sort of brown color on the actual meat. So I've got my spices here, and these are all whole spices that essentially sort of make up the main base of 5 spice. I've got 3 or 4 star anise in here. This is really gonna sort of give a punchy, sort of sweet, aromatic flavor to the base of this stew or this braising liquid. And then I've got some cinnamon, or actually cassia bark, which is cousin to cinnamon. Smells and tastes really quite similar. Now my clove, one of those things that I've always been taught by my mother-in-law, it's good for a toothache. It's really quite strong in flavor as well. So 2, 3, 4, 5, maximum 5 of those. Bay leaf, nice sort of mellow spice to add to that base. And then we've got black cardamom. And black cardamom, cousin to green cardamom, it's got a nice sort of almost smoky, deep, sweet, smoky flavor to it. And this 5th spice could be a combination of anything really. But I've got here some coriander seeds and some white pepper. All of these spices are gonna go straight into my pot, and we'll start to bring out the aroma of those spices quite quickly. To go with these base spices, I've got more base flavor. These onions, just gonna slice into wedges, keep it nice and simple. And then I've got some ginger and garlic here. And that can just be kept whole. And then my ginger, give it a good bash. Now, I've also got some carrot and celery here. Not classically Chinese to put carrot, celery into a sort of slow cooked or slow braised dish. But this dish actually really reminds me, and it comes from more sort of the Macau region. And Macau has heavy influence from Portuguese and different cultures. So I've got that almost Western base or mirepoix of onion, carrot and celery, along with my Chinese base flavors of ginger and garlic. And we're gonna add a bit of fat to this to sear that sort of the onions and ginger and garlic. And you can use oil, but we've got plenty of fat from the actual oxtail itself. And that will start to temper your spices even more. It's on a really low heat at the moment. I'm gonna hit the heat up to medium heat now, and then start to bring the rest in. That ginger, garlic, onion and carrot. Get that cooking through, and the onions, if we brown these nicely, will just add to that depth of color. We're gonna start to bring in the liquid, and that's the braising liquid. So we've got light soy for saltiness, dark soy for that deep color. We want this to caramelize nicely around the meat. And then we've got this lovely rock sugar here, create a nice smooth finish on the sauce. And I am gonna use some wine to actually cook this, along with, of course, tasting on the side. So let's get the Grand Barossa out. This is a great time to talk about our sponsors for this video. And this Grand Barossa Special Edition Year of the Tiger wine And you can see it's a limited edition just from the front. And I've got a serious Magnum of wine here. It looks beautiful. More importantly, it's the year of the tiger. So Gong Hei Fat Chai to you all. Year of the tiger, why is it so special? It's about courage, confidence, willpower, and independence. And just looking at the bottle, I know that this wine has all those amazing traits. Now this wine is from Château Tanunda, from down under. It literally is the only chateau allowed to be called a chateau in Australia. Established in 1890 from the Geber family, and they've won so many awards, and now they're creating awesome special editions like this. It's always good to taste the wine before, especially if you're using it for cooking. Oh wow, that is smooth. A bit smooth, but it's got real depth of flavor, and that's because it's a Barossa Shiraz, which definitely works with sort of deep flavors like this. The oxtail and that dark soy and all those spices will go perfectly with this wine. And all this sort of caramelized flavor in the pan. What you want to do here is get the heat up to a really nice high heat before you add the wine. And the wine itself, as I say, it's going to complement this dish really well. Just deglaze this and get as much of that sort of caramelized texture from the bottom of the pan, the sides of the pan, into the actual sauce. Give that a good scrape. Lastly, got my chicken stock, and then we're going to bring that to a vigorous boil. Once it's vigorously boiling, then you want to get your oxtail in. And this is one of those dishes that you want to cook on a weekend when you've got that time just to cook it for as long as possible. Nice sort of wintry, feasting dish. Once that's vigorously boiling, just turn that heat down to medium to low heat. Let it simmer, cover it with a lid, a minimum of 3 hours, but the longer the better. If you let this sort of really intensify with that lovely wine flavor, the chicken stock, all those spices, for as long as possible, you will have an absolute Chinese New Year feast. So my oxtail has been going for a good sort of 5 or 6 hours. And just be careful not to sort of push it around too much, because that meat will literally just fall off the bone. Just carefully fish out all that lovely oxtail first. The oxtail itself should be so soft that I should just be able to sort of use a spoon and just prise that off. Gosh. That has literally just taken me back to the streets of Macau, celebrating Chinese New Year with my family. This is deep, sweet, savory, braising at its best. You've got to try it with the wine. What a perfect combination with this Château Tanunda Grand Barossa Shiraz. And even better that we're celebrating Chinese New Year. So I'm just going to keep eating, drinking, as you should over this time of year. Thank you so much to Château Tanunda. Don't forget, guys, there's loads of other braised dishes on our channel, so check those out too. More importantly, if you want to try out the wine yourselves, you can find the Grand Barossa Shiraz in Sainsbury's and the Year of the Tiger Special Edition wine in Costco UK.